Hey guys, I'm Alistair, and today I've got the Hoka Rocket X3. So if you caught my Rocket X2 review, then you'll know I did really like that shoe, but there was certainly room for improvement. And that was mostly when it came to breathability, the comfort, a little bit of stability. And that was really it, to be honest. I did really like that shoe. I'm super pleased to say the Hoka Rocket X3 does fix all those issues that I mentioned, including the breathability. So it is more breathable now. It's more comfortable now. I didn't really like the heel counter on the previous version, which was actually quite solid, but very thin and lightweight. But there's not much stretch or give in it, and sometimes it can tend to rub on the back of your Achilles. If you do it up securely, it's not a huge problem, but occasionally on longer runs, I did start to feel that. Didn't become a huge issue, but I felt it. So anyway, that's been fixed with this nice articulated heel counter. Feels way more comfortable. Heel lock is still good, and it's also more stable. This is a super stable race day shoe. Probably one of the most stable ones out there, to be honest, and I really love it for that, because it means you can kind of lay off a pace, sit back a little bit if you're getting tired in a race, and strike more towards the heel, just so you can recover whilst running, and then you can get back to picking up the pace and racing hard again. So if that does sound like you in a marathon race, then I think you're really going to like this shoe, very much in the same way I liked the Hoka Cielo X1. That shoe was incredible, but it was a little bit heavy. Speaking of weight, the Hoka Rocket X3 is even lighter than the previous version as well, so they've made an improvement there too. Okay, so that gives you a broad understanding of how this one has been improved over the previous version. There are other things which I will get into in my performance review, but for now, let's get into the key specifications. They cost $250 and they are released today on July the 1st. They weigh 7.3 ounces or 207 grams. That's for size US men's 9, my pair. They have a 7mm drop from heel to toe. The upper is using a single layer warp knit mesh, and it is super comfortable. I do prefer it to the previous version, the Hoka Rocket X2. It's just got a little bit more stretch in it, and it is way more breathable. It's got really nice streamlined collar, and of course, that heel counter that slopes backwards is nice and flexible, so you're not going to get that feeling of it digging into the back of your Achilles anymore. And very easy to slip on. That was another problem I had with the previous version. It was just really awkward. There was no stretch or anything going on, so it was a bit tricky to put on. But once they were on, they were really nice and comfortable. But these are so much easier to get on, and they're also super comfortable. In fact, they're more comfortable. Now, the new version doesn't have a gusseted tongue, but it never really slips out of place when I'm running in the shoes. The foam is a dual density Peba foam, which means you get nice soft landings, and then you get a nice firm responsive takeoff. And the carbon fiber plate within this midsole is pretty flexible as well. So I would say, looking at the previous version, it is actually more flexible than the previous version. That contributes to the comfort of the shoe on the run, but it does mean that it's not quite as poppy. But again, I think it's going to feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more approachable for more runners out there. So overall, I think that's definitely a good thing for most runners. Extra features include a rear foot focused active foot frame, which basically gives you a nice stable ride. This midsole just rises up around your heel, cradling your foot a little bit, giving you extra support and stability on the run. And there is a meta rocker geometry as well, which means you're basically going to get a nice smoother roll from heel landing to toe takeoff. But that of course includes, if you are landing at your forefoot, you do hit that rocker at the front, and you still benefit from the rocker geometry. And the outsole is using a nice sticky rubber. It is in zoned areas, so it's not all over the outsole. And the little pads at the heel here are smaller than the previous version, but overall traction is better. The pattern does give you just better grip overall. When it comes to sizing and fit, they're very much true to size, and I'd say they have a medium width. If you have extra wide feet and you know you have wide feet, I'd recommend trying them in the store. You might be able to get some extra volume out of this lacing setup and this slightly stretchier upper, but I don't know, you might struggle, so I would recommend trying them on rather than buying them online in your case. And when it comes to heel lock and just general lockdown, they are fantastic. You will have to make sure you do your lacing setup quite tightly just to make sure you do get that heel lock. But once you get the nice secure fit in the lacing, heel lock's fantastic. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like and make sure you comment on the video. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. My main goal here with this channel is to really create a community space. I want to get your input. I want to hear from you if you've run in the Rocket series before, whether it's this new one or the previous version or the first version. I want to know how you feel about this series as well. So put those comments down there, and hopefully that will help other visitors of the channel, other subscribers, so they'll get a much broader picture of what this shoe is like. Or alternatively, just say hi, introduce yourself, let me know where you run, let me know where you're from, what kind of running you like to do, road, trail, both. Put all that in the comments, I reply to everyone. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That'll let you know as soon as new videos drop. Congrats, you've made it to my performance review. I'm going to start by talking about stability. Yes, not something that most people would start out on when it comes to a carbon-plated race day shoe, but I'm going to because I know it matters to a lot of runners out there. So many race day shoes right now, from the Endorphin Elite 2 to the Hoka Cielo X1-2, even the Alphafly 3 to some degree. What so many of those shoes have in common is a lack of stability at the heel. Now I get it, most runners who are going to be using $250 shoes like this do tend to run more on their forefoot. They're gunning it, whether they're elite racers or just runners who want to place as high as they can or run as fast as they can. Most runners do run towards their forefoot and they can keep that out throughout their race. But there's actually a lot of people out there who do also run marathons. They're not going to place in the top 10% or whatever, but they just want to do the best they can. And they want a really fast shoe to do that, and they want to do it in complete comfort without feeling like they're going to roll an ankle or just that really uncomfortable, unstable feel on the run. Well guys, if that sounds like you should probably check out the Hoka Rocket X3 because this is surprisingly stable for a carbon-plated, bouncy, fun running shoe. Now, it's not one of those crazy high stack height race day shoes, but that's what I like about it. I do get some good ground feel. I get to initiate the plate much easier than, say, something like the Alphafly 3, which I'm trying to bend this now, and I really can't. A shoe like that, you need to be running at incredibly high speeds and you need to be able to put that forward momentum into flexing the plate, and then you get the energy return back. A shoe like this, you don't have to be running as fast, and you will get the benefits of being able to flex that plate because of it. Lighter runners as well are going to very easily initiate that plate flex, being able to then store the energy and use it on takeoff. Tons of benefits for a shoe like this. It's definitely more comfortable, it's more stable, the upper is very breathable as well, so I think loads of people are going to like it for those reasons, and that's why I'm starting out with stability and comfort. The dual density Peba foam really does give you a nice cushioned landing, plenty in my opinion for half marathon distances, but anyone who has a high cadence and they tread lightly when they're running, so a high tick over, don't tend to increase their stride as much as their cadence when they're trying to run faster. You probably don't need a highly cushioned, highly bouncy, squishy, soft midsole. In which case a shoe like this is probably going to be more beneficial to you because it will be lighter in general, but also just more flexible and snappier and faster if you are running shorter distances. But again, longer distances are going to be fine for you as well if you are used to a shoe like this, which does have plenty of cushioning in my opinion. But it also has great response. So it is a balance that's better tuned for shorter distances for sure, or for anyone who runs with a high cadence. I've been running in these in my tempo workouts and interval training sessions, and I'm actually just loving it for those sessions. I'm able to just keep running and I don't feel like I'm getting tired wearing a shoe like this, which is dangerous in training, I know. You should be training hard, so with no plates where possible. So it's important to mention that it's not as bouncy as those other shoes I mentioned, the Endorphin Elite 2 and the Alphafly 3, but to me the balance does feel better, maybe for my style of running. I do like to have a high cadence and I do like to run fast, and I do run quite light-footed towards my mid and forefoot. So to me a shoe like this does feel a little less bulky and does feel snappier for me. But if I was to then run a marathon, I would say, yes, those types of shoes are probably going to make me perform better and feel more fun and bouncy on the run. But to be honest, I could go with either shoe on race day. And sticking with the comfort, the heel counter at the rear here is so much better than the previous version. There's no rubbing going on, it's just super comfortable. The collars are nice and low so it doesn't contact my ankle in any way. Nice and soft, not what you might see on most racing shoes out there. So it's clear Hoka has gone for way more comfort in this version, probably because a lot of people might have said that that was the issue with the previous version, because it was an incredibly lightweight, snappy, fast shoe. And for the record, this one hasn't lost any of that speed or lightweightedness. It's even lighter than the previous version, but somehow Hoka's actually made it more padded and more durable feeling overall. So absolutely love the updates. The upper, having all that breathability now, does allow me to keep my feet cool within the shoes as well. So total bonus there as well. And the laces are also better now. They've got this lacy laces. I'm not sure what you call these, but they're quite nice because they do lock in well when you do your laces up and they don't come undone. And when it comes to traction on the run, I haven't had any issues at all, whereas on a very close competitor of this shoe, the Nike Vaporfly 4, I did experience slipping in this shoe when running in wet conditions. So I haven't noticed that with this one so far. You've made it to my final verdict. Is the Hoka Rocket X3 worth $250? Well, yes, when you look at the competition out there, this one is completely worth it. And that's mostly because it's incredibly comfortable. There's nothing kind of revolutionary going on with this shoe in terms of crazy new tech or anything. But what it's doing really well is everything. They thought about comfort as well as performance on the run. And that's something I feel a lot of brands kind of miss the mark on. They go for all-out performance rather than comfort for average runners out there. I know a lot of people are going to love this shoe because of the comfort and because of the breathability. So it's not just comfort when you slip it on, it's comfort throughout your run. And that includes the stability at the heel. It's way more stable now, and it's a lot more stable than most other race day super shoes out there. And a lot of runners are gonna really appreciate that, especially runners who have to run in stability shoes because they have overpronation issues. Stepping into one of those high stack, bouncy race day shoes must be quite sketchy for a lot of runners out there. If that sounds like you, I think you're really gonna appreciate how stable this race day shoe feels, but also you're not really sacrificing on performance. It is fast, it's lightweight, it's very breathable, and the traction is really good as well. So $250, yes, I can't recommend this one enough, there are definitely going to be ranking shiftings on my best carbon plated race day shoes roundup on alistairrunning.com. So definitely check that list down next. Well, thanks for tuning in for this one. I know it was a little bit longer than most of my reviews, but I had a lot to get through because this shoe has really been updated quite a lot from the previous version. And to be honest, it's a racing shoe that deserves the time. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful. If you did, give the video a like. Remember to comment and subscribe to my channel for more reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. Peace.